Jamal Lascelles, Carl Darlow, and you're watching Newcastle Fans TV.
Hello Newcastle Fans TV, I'm joined by a special guest today, which is Lee Ryder from the Chronicle. Lee, thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Thanks for asking.
What we're doing today is we're just going to fire Lee some questions, because obviously he works, he knows Newcastle inside out, and he's probably got a lot more knowledge than myself anyways on this. So Lee, we're going to fire some questions at you.
Yeah, no.
Question one, I've got 10 questions running through. Question one, what is the thoughts on a third of the way through the season so far?
Well, you've got to give them almost 10 out of 10, haven't you? I know there was a bit of a shaky start, and in a way, I think, in a strange way, I think that was probably the best thing that could have happened to her. Because if it would have got off to the flyer, then I think sometimes complacency creeps in. It was like a little bit of a kick up the backside, really, that, you know,
The first two defeats.
The first Fulham and Huddersfield.
Were you worried?
Yeah, a little bit, because I thought it's not going to be like the 2010 season when we just ran away with it. But I think it just brought it down to earth. We got calmed the fans down a little bit, because some people I know are putting bets on them having a 100% record of being unbeaten all the way through the season. Football doesn't work like that, sadly, unless you can get a cheat on Football Manager or something, I don't know. So I'm just really pleased for the city, pleased for the fans. They've been through an awful lot of trouble, and you know, they're sitting pretty at the top, so that's good.
Yeah, just going on the back of that then, Newcastle on a great run at the moment. Do you think there will be a few more surprise defeats throughout the season? Will it give us a bit of a wake-up call?
I think there's got to be. I think if you look at the records, I think Reading won it with 106 points a few years ago, and they only lost 2 games in the season. We've already lost 3, so I think there's always going to be games where you're just not expecting it. There's a few banana skins still out there, I think. They're almost like cup ties, some of the away games. You know, you look at like Burton Albion, that could be a tricky game for like a cup tie down there. There's always going to be another one at home as well. I think we will finish top, and I think we will get promoted, but I do think there'll be the odd little wake-up call.
Yeah, I would agree. So just looking at the league table at the moment, we're 3 points ahead of Brighton. Is it us and Brighton, or is it too early to say?
Again, I've been looking at the sort of like previous season, and I looked at I think it was Burnley on New Year's Day, and Burnley were like in 5th on 42 points or something.
Amazing run, didn't they?
Then they went on an amazing run, you're exactly right. And then I can't remember, I think it was Hull were at the top, and they slipped down the other way. So I think there's a few more teams to come into it. I think Aston Villa
with Brucey, yeah,
with Steve Bruce. Obviously Wolves have just changed manager. You don't know if they'll go on one of them runs.
They've got money, haven't they?
They've got money to spend in January. I think there could be 3 or 4 more teams that get involved, but Brighton are looking very good, and we all know what Chris Hughton can do, obviously.
Yeah, well respected, isn't he? Right. International break at the moment.
Yeah.
Which of the new signings have impressed you, and who haven't?
Well, I think the ones who have impressed me is obviously Dwight Gale. I think he's stepped up. He's got the number 9 shirt. I think that's a big thing for a young player coming in and do, and he's pulled it on. He's been, 11 goals speaks for itself. Matt Ritchie has been fantastic. I know the fans love him.
With his magic hat.
With his magic hat, yeah. And I think he loves the song. I don't think he can believe what's going on up here, to be honest.
I'm surprised by Kieran Clark.
Kieran Clark I gave him man of the match on Saturday. I think when the backs were against the wall, he was basically winning everything in the air. He was organising the defence. I thought
he looks really good. I was a bit sceptical of him, and he's got a mistake in him, but he looks quality.
Yeah.
Any who you have been disappointed with?
I've been a bit disappointed with Gamez on the basis that we just haven't seen him. He's obviously come back from a couple of injuries. He's had, I don't know whether he's having problems settling down or whatever, but I hope there's more to come from him. I'm going to be positive about it. While I've been disappointed not to see him in the team, I hope we're going to see something from him in the second half of the season and bring his La Liga quality to the team.
Gamaz is one for watch for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Goal of the season so far?
Quite a few of them, hasn't there?
There's a few to pick from.
I think Gale's free kick against Reading was pretty cool. Shelby's against Brighton, I like that one as well. I like Dwight Gale's against Barnsley, the one that was really like the Tino goal.
Yeah.
From '97. I like that one as well. They'd be the 3 that I'm thinking of at the moment.
Shelby QPR was my favourite.
Yeah,
That was some
that was some strike. I think it was so hot that night. Everyone was melting in the press box. But yeah, there's been a few. I mean, you could stop it now and have a goal of the season competition. That's
well.
Yeah.
What's been the best performance by the club so far?
What, on the field or?
On the field, yeah. What's been like, wow?
You've got to say QPR really, haven't you?
Yeah.
To go when the Newcastle last time away game where they went 6-0 and should have really been 10 or 11, should have been a record scoreline. So that's on the field, that's what I want to be. Off the field, I'm just throwing my own questions in here. Rafa Benitez, what a great job by the club to persuade him to come and then let him do the job the way he wants to do it. They've had the stick in the past. I'll give them a bit of credit.
Even like after Rafa, is that the module that we'll have to have?
Absolutely, you can't have a head coach model here. It doesn't work. You can't have your chief scout picking the players, which effectively is picking the team. It didn't work. You know, Steve McLaren, whatever you thought of him, he was working under a difficult system. He didn't get the results. He had to go.
Yeah.
But you know, we've got Rafa now, so we can.
What about the Norwich comeback? I've seen that in your Chronicle yesterday.
That was just unbelievable. That, and I mean, what I know the fans love games like that.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst nightmare for journalists because if you're on a deadline and your stuff's got to be in by 10:30, you basically, I know a lot of people, the way they do it, they like try and write the match report up with 10 minutes to go as the score is then. I can never do that because I think you just end up getting yourself in a right mess. I think you leave the top end of it open and as soon as that whistle goes, you're ready to write what's actually happened. It all sounds a bit mad, but that's what it's like in a press box. In a game like that, what were the goals on? 89, what? 92 or 90?
95. I had a bet on 4-3, that's why.
Wow.
So I was looking,
Drinks on you that night then.
Definitely. Right, but just looking away from the first team that you've set up, a lot of plaudits have been shouting on for Sean Longstaff.
Yeah.
Do you know much about him? Because a lot of most Newcastle fans, I presume, would know a little bit about him. Can you tell us about him?
Yeah, I know quite a bit about him. He's come from North Shields Juniors originally, who've done a great job with him down there. And you know, he's come in the academy, he's gone through all the age levels, under 11 all the way up to under 18, now in the reserves.
Is he the one?
Yeah, hard to say because, you know, he's probably now at the same stage Adam Campbell was.
Yeah.
But
we're just
then
trying to knock on.
That's when you've got to push on. Adam Campbell, for whatever reason, it just didn't happen for him. Ended up going out on loan, probably the wrong loan moves. Maybe Newcastle put him in the first team a little bit too early. Yeah. You just never know. So he's probably at that same stage now. Hopefully he can kick on. He's a different type of player than Adam Campbell. I'm just talking about the level that they're at. I think he's got goals in him. He can also play holding midfield position as well. He's done that. He can make goals. He's also a big lad physically and he's going to get bigger. So
wasn't his dad a hockey player?
That's him. Yeah, he was the Newcastle Vitals captain, Great Britain captain. So he's coming from a good background.
So he's the one. Yeah, I'd agree with that then.
I think he's at the minute. To be fair, there's a few that could do a bit. I mean, there's Mackenzie Heaney as well in the team at the minute. He's trying to push through. Owen Bailey's doing quite well. You've got Owen Gallagher, who's John Gallagher's lad. So there's a few options, you know.
Do you think any will get in at the first team, or is it just Rafa just my priorities this season?
I think that you hit the nail on the head. I don't think they're going to get in this season. I think the next step for some of them, including Longstaff, will probably be to go out on loan in January and get that experience.
Question, this is debated. Are you a fan of the cup runs, or are you one of the fans that's a distraction?
Well, I'm a believer in wins breed confidence, confidence breeds wins, and I don't think there's any harm in getting to a semi-final of a cup. And
we're exactly the same.
We're on the brink of it. You know, it's only another 2 games. We've already got a lot of points in the bag. I think go for it. I think no one's going to complain if we're in the semi-finals of the cup. I don't think so.
Do you think it's a good test hole because it's a Premier League side? It's good to see where we're at.
Yeah, it is, because that's the thing. We're playing all these teams in the Championship. And no disrespect to them, it's not Premier League level. You know, you sit and watch Match of the Day when you've watched all that Football League stuff, and you go, "Whoa, there's a step up." So there's tough times ahead. Hull will be a perfect sort of little test to see where we're at. Yeah.
January's approaching. Obviously, the media speculation is going to rife about transfers. Social media put a poll out and problem position for Newcastle for the number 10. Do you think that's where we need to improve, or would it be somewhere else?
See, I think Mo Diarmi's come in for a bit of stick, hasn't he? I can see why, but I can also see that when he's in that system, Newcastle seem to do a bit better. Against Cardiff in the second half, it didn't kind of it didn't gel as well. I spoke to the army a few times, and he keeps saying, "I'm not there yet. I'm not just at me, you know."
You want the lad to do well as well.
And he's optimum, you know, and I think he will. He'll do well. I think he'll do all right, but we've just got to give him a bit more time and patience and see what happens.
Any names you'd like to come in and throw one out there?
People I'd like to see come in. I think really it's difficult because we're going to find it hard to attract Premier League players. I know we've got Matt Ritchie like that, but at this stage it's going to be who can you bring in? You've already got the Championship players. I mean, one I have heard mentioned is Andy Carroll's name a million times, obviously, but I have heard that he could be open to the fact of coming back. But
he's match fit, isn't he?
He's got it's about fitness, isn't it? So I don't know. It's an interesting. It's one to keep an eye on. Might not happen, but one to keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on for that.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that. Final question then. When we go up, it's not if, it's when we go up. Rafa will obviously come out and say he'll play safe, safety, and all of that. But realistically, should Newcastle be achieving a lot more than just safety when we go up?
I don't think it's the Rafa way, is it really, to go up and say we'll consolidate? I can't see that happening. I think he will go up. He'll have a plan. He'll present that plan to probably Lee Charnley, and say these are the players I want. This is where I want to take. I cannot see him settling for just survival. I think if you aim for survival, which is what Newcastle done last season really under McLaren, and Sunderland, Moyes has already said it this season. I think if you aim for survival, they end up getting relegated. So I think if he aims for the...
Because he will attract bigger players, wouldn't he, from like La Liga, Serie A, Premier League. We've got money, I'm sure he'll throw money at it. Yeah,
we've got a world-class manager there now, so I cannot see why we can't bring in world-class players. I think without going too far ahead, you know, we're allowed to talk and speculate, dream if you like. I think top 10 will be the
I would say so. That is because there's that gap between the top 8 and the rest of the Premier League. Just quickly touching on that, do you think if we were promoted and we didn't sign any players now, is this squad capable of staying in the Premier League?
No, we need to bring more players. Yeah, definitely. I think he'll be the first one to admit that as well. The vibes I'm getting, that he doesn't like to talk about transfers too much, but there's always things going on in the background. I think in the past there's been more talk and nothing going on in the background, so it's I totally trust Rafa. From what I've sort of like, we've got the benefit of being a little bit closer to my press conferences, and he's just a different class of manager than what we're used to.
He gets it, doesn't he?
He gets it, and I think the best manager since Sir Bobby Robson.
I would agree, like that. It's just a buzz around the city, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Lee, for coming on the channel.
My pleasure.
Give the video a like, and we'll see you later.